I'm Anil Kumar, and here is question number 4 from my test on functions. 4a. Express absolute x greater than or equal to 5, where x belongs to real numbers, in interval notation. Part B is write the interval from -4 to 6 as absolute inequality. Part C is solve 5 minus x over 2 greater than 3. Write solution using number line. So that's your question. You can pause the video, answer, and then look into my suggestions. We have this absolute x greater than or equal to 5. Let's try to understand it. It really means that if I sketch the absolute x function kind of like this, greater than or equal to 5 means that if I draw a line y equals to 5, then all the values, this is equal to 5, right? Which is also included in the answer. So this is, all these values are greater than or equal to 5. Is it okay? Which is -5 and 5. So that is the solution. You need to express in interval notation. So you can write this as from -infinity to -5. -infinity is never included, to -5 included, since this is greater than equal to, right? Union from 5 to infinity. 5 to infinity, right? So that is how you need to write this solution in interval notation. Part B is write the interval from -4 to 6 as absolute inequality. Let's try to understand this. What we are saying here is that we have an interval which is from -4, not included, and 6. We have to write this as absolute inequality, right? Something like that. How do we find this out? This is very tricky. You can pause the video, try it out, and then look into my suggestions, right? So what we do here is we find the midpoint. So first step is find the midpoint. So let's do it step by step. Between these 2 points, what is the midpoint? Add them, divide by 2. So -4 plus 6 divided by 2, which is 1, right? So 1 is the midpoint. Now from 1, how far are we? That is to say, what is this distance? And what is this distance? Well, 6 minus 1 is 5. 1 minus -4 is also 5. And we are within this interval, right? So we are 5 units away when the absolute function is translated 1 unit at 1, right? So we could write this as absolute. Since we are moving to 1, which is on the right side of 0, right? So if you're considering xy plane, something like this, right? So it becomes x minus 1, and we are within 5 units distance. Do you see that? Not included because of these brackets. So that becomes your absolute inequality, whose solution is given here. Is it okay? So that is how you have to do inequalities. Let's look into part C, which is solve 5 minus x over 2 greater than 3. Okay, let's follow these simple steps. So, cross multiply 5 minus x is greater than 3 times 2, which is 6. Or we can say 5, bring 6 to the left side, okay, greater than x, or -1, or x. So x is less than -1. So we get our solution, which is x is less than -1, which we can show on a number line. Let's say this is 0 for us. X is less than -1, not including -1, will mean arrow like this, from -1. You get an idea. So that becomes the solution. Now, let me give you a word of caution here. When you're solving this equation, let me redo from here onwards. We have 5 minus x is greater than 3 times 2 is 6. We could take 5 on this side. Then we get minus x is greater than 6 minus 5. Or minus x is greater than 1. Now when you multiply by minus on both sides, this sign also changes. So we get x is less than minus 1. Do you see that? So we get the same result, correct? So the idea here is to note at this stage, when you multiply by negative, sign changes. When you do times 1. Do you see that? That is very important to understand, and at times you could do that mistake. Second thing what you could do is kind of check your result. You know 0 is not a solution. So if I write 0 here, 5 divided by 2 is 2.5, which is not greater than 3. So that works, right? So 0 is not a solution. So you could just check that out. Okay. Or if I put minus 2, minus minus becomes plus. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5, which is greater than 3. It works. So you could check your solution. It's always a good idea. I'm Anil Kumar, and I hope that helps. You can share and subscribe to my videos. Feel free to post questions. Thank you, and all the best.